Hi friend, I'm back again, and man, is detox the real deal. I tell you, holy goodness. I did green grapes last night and watermelon for dinner, nothing else. So after 6 p.m. that's all I had. And then I chose not to take the herbs because, you know, even though I love taking herbal tinctures, I can show you my Master Fast herbs some other time, and the 7x7 Alka herb tea that I use in conjunction with them. It just wasn't the night. I could tell my body was going into detox, being off the gluten now for several days. And if you continue to follow my journey, I'll continue to share about how this has been for me. So because my body was in such a healing state, it wasn't busy with digestion. You know, 80% of our energy goes to digestion, and fruit, it's like minimal effort on the body. So it's like you're in a fasting state. I needed so much sleep. My body wanted to sleep for so many hours. I was in bed by 11. And I didn't get out of bed today until 1 o'clock. I got out like in the morning once to pee, and then I went back in the bed and I meditated. I do my Vipassana, it's like a body scan meditation, because of the pain I'm experiencing in my head and my jaw. And so it helps to bring awareness throughout the body, rather than just being fixated on instead of tensing up and wanting this one area that doesn't feel good to stop hurting, I focus on like a balance. Oh, okay, yes, this area has this sensation, this area has this sensation. Yeah, sometimes it's going to be dense and uncomfortable, and sometimes the sensation is going to be a free flow. So it's wonderful to balance out my mental state as I'm healing, because if you've watched my recent videos, you'll know that or any of my videos, that in detoxification, there is quite a lot of discomfort as the body heals itself, as the acids and toxins come into circulation, and as the lymph starts to move them out. Have you ever noticed you might have pain here one day and then it's down here? That's what's happening. So I ended up just falling back asleep after my Vipassana meditation, and just having wonderful dreams actually, and just waking up feeling way better afterwards. So yes, that's quite a lot of my day gone. And with the time change here in the Northern Hemisphere, it can be pretty tricky. You know, the first thing I wanted to do was get out and get some sun. Luckily, I was off work today. That allowed me to have such a luxurious rest. I was like, that's it, I gotta get out and get sun. I'm gonna miss the day. And I said, okay, just chill out, one thing at a time. I came to my kitchen and I had my herbal tea and herbal tinctures to start breaking the fast. And that's the way I want to start my day when I have the time to do so. Some days I have to drive to a health food store outside of the city, and if I skip the herbs but I have fruit, I know that the fruit is just very astringent in its own way, and that it's okay not to have the herbs. The herbs are astringent, they're cleansing, they're also strengthening and supporting me through the detox so that I don't have such a painful detox. And, you know, of course, there's still going to be pain and discomfort. It's inevitable, but you always come out stronger on the other end, as I always teach. And that's always what I've personally experienced doing regenerative healing and regenerative detox all these years. So that brings me full circle back to last night when I had my green grape juice. I sipped that as my dinner, and then I ate watermelon whole. It was pretty good. It probably would have been better juiced because it wasn't super sweet, but there were good parts, you know, when you get that really good part of the watermelon. And so I said, that's okay. I'm not going to take my herbs. I'm just going to right away go into a dry fast. And dry fasting is something that emotionally I have not felt to do for a long time. I've been bringing up a glass of water, and that was my old habit, you know, when I just used to eat the SAD diet or the standard Western diet, standard American diet. I would always have that water by my bedside table. So I got back into this kind of habit, and I know that water isn't truly hydrating. Speaking of juice, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing pineapple and orange. You'll see I have the oranges just soaking in some water with baking soda just to clean the peel, even though I'm not ingesting the peel. Even the pineapple I washed really well before handling it. You just never know. I'm not a germaphobe or anything like that, and I believe that germs are actually strengtheners and not to be afraid of them. However, you just don't know with the chemicals, you know, and the toxicity there. Yeah, it was quite a night of regenerative healing and dry fasting. And my point about the water is, you know, it's just not hydrating. It does temporarily satisfy my thirst, and it adds more stress to the kidneys. The kidneys are already working so hard to get out acids and toxins, and by, you know, consuming extra fluids that aren't really electrical and hydrating in nature, they're just like, for water, for example, is neutral, the pH. It's designed to carry waste out, yes, but it's not going to truly hydrate. It temporarily satisfies, like if I've been eating a lot of salty foods, I'm gonna want more water for sure. But the electricity found, for example, in this pineapple or the watermelon or the grapes that I consumed last night is way more hydrating, and it has to do with the alkalinity and, like I said, the electrical component. Fruit is very electrical, and it lights up our nervous system. And I've done a lot of videos on how, you know, the sugars in fruit aren't to be feared. So if you haven't seen those, go back and check